44 traffic off your left side there, Cessna in the left downwind, follow that traffic, report from midfield.
Following traffic in the left downwind, report midfield, Liberty 44.
Hey everybody, welcome back. We're still up here in New York. These wind-swept, snow-swept banks out here in New York. It's getting kind of crazy, really windy. You can hear these hangars rocking and shaking in this wind. So today, I wanted to make a video asking you questions about vintage airplanes, about what to use to build them, specifically about the Pete and Pole Air Camper. Now, I know a lot of you are going to kind of say I need to go back to the plans and really build it like Mr. Pete and Pole planned it to be built. But to that, I would say, if we have advanced our technology so far that say we don't need to use wooden ribs anymore, we can use a composite material, why wouldn't we use that? Why would we go back to the wooden ribs of the World War I? Why would we go back to the metal ribs of World War I when we have composites? Or why would we necessarily go back to maybe the Model T engine or something like that? So that's what I want you to help me with. I want you to answer these questions that I have about this airplane. Give me your ideas, your comments, your stories, things like that. So let's dive into it today. Okay, so the first question is about power plants or engines or firewall forward, all three really. The question here is, what should I use? Now, if you go back to the original Pete and Pole Air Camper, you see Mr. Pete and Pole used a Model T engine that he took off of a car and kind of transformed it into an airplane engine. It's really cool what he did. But I don't like the radiator and the cylinders that are just right in front of you, blocking your forward vision. That doesn't sit well with me. So the other option that a lot of people use is the Corvair engine. 110 horsepower engine, beautiful, gets you that forward visibility. Works great, and I'm not saying anything bad about that. But I've got another engine I found because I really like the look and the feel and the sound of the radial engines. Back, on a Stearman or something like that, those big radial engines. Well, I found a radial engine, 7 cylinders, 110 horsepower, same weight as Corvair, just about. What do y'all think? Do you think I should use the Corvair engine? Do you think I should use the radial engine? Here's another thought. That same company that makes that radial engine makes a 9-cylinder, 150 horsepower radial engine. What do you think about that? Get some power behind that engine. So I want to hear what you think. Do you think I should use the Corvair engine and just go back to the days that they were making these Corvair engines, the days of old? Do you think I should go with this newer technology? Well, it's not really newer. Radial engines have been around since the Air Camper was made, but I really like the radial engine. Do you think I should go with that? Or do you think I should try to amp up the horsepower a little bit, amp up the power, go with that 150 9-cylinder radial engine? Other than that, the two radial engines are pretty much the same, just one has 2 cylinders more and 40 more horsepower. So let me know, comment below, like it on Facebook, message me somehow. I'll put my email account down below in the description. Feel free to email me with your comments or questions or stories, anything like that. Love to hear from you. Let's move on to the second question. Number 2, it's about building materials. Specifically today, it's going to be about wing ribs. This right here, this is a wooden wing rib that I made several years ago at an EAA summer camp. This is really what you would find in a Pete and Pole Air Camper if you're using the same kind of technology that they used back then. This is balsa wood, super, super strong, really not going to break very easily. Very light, really, it's very light. Very cheap as well. So this is really what they use most often actually I think all the time really in air campers. But why would you stick with something so antiquated as wood? I mean, come on, none of these airplanes in this hangar are wooden airplanes, really, not hardly. Maybe that Champ back there is, but none of the other ones are. They just, there's newer, better things you can use, like this next wing rib that I'll show you. So if we move on a little bit from World War I and the days when aviation first got started, we move into the aluminum or the metal stage of aviation, which is still around a lot. And if you look at a lot of these airplanes that I'm walking around down here, most of them really have a lot of metal pieces and a lot of metal parts in them. Like this is an aluminum wing rib that I made at the same time I made that wooden one. It's still very light, very strong. It's a lot stronger and it'll hold its shape better than the wooden one. It's a little heavier than the wooden one, and it's a little bit more expensive than the wooden one. All in all, it's a very good piece of metal. It makes cheap, long-lasting, good airplanes. And this is a lot what you'll find on these other general aviation airplanes. Let me grab the next piece. Now this is the piece I think we should use today. This is foam really, but it kind of symbolizes composite materials. You can get this foam, which is super easy. Just get a hot wire and trace out the outline of the composite material. Super easy to make. And then you just kind of lay fiberglass over it and bind the fiberglass to it. So all in all, it's really an easy kind of a wing rib to make. Lighter and stronger than that wooden wing rib. So why wouldn't you use it? I mean, sure, it's more expensive. If you can get the money for it though, why wouldn't you use it? I want to hear what y'all think. Which material should I use? Let me know. You've seen the 3 really most popular wing ribs there are today. Talk to me. Let me know what y'all think. The next question, of course, is what avionics system should I put in the airplane? Now, if you go back to the old days, they've got what? They've got like a TAC and altitude indicator and airspeed, and that's it. And maybe a mag compass, or maybe just a mag compass, and they do everything else by sight. Now, those are the good old days of flying, right? When you have to look outside and navigate on your own. But come on, like I've said in the rest of the video, we've grown up. That's back when aviation was a child. Now we're a full-grown adult. So why not put a whole glass panel up in the front of it? Well, yeah, sure, that takes away a lot of the old vintage style. But why not use some of the glass panel techniques? Why not get maybe a whole information system where you've got your attitude, airspeed, and altimeter all in one little block? Or something like that. I want y'all to tell me ideas you have of good avionics systems that I could use. Because I'm kind of lost on the avionics side of things. I don't know what I should put. Should I even try to put lights on the plane? I mean, I could try to make it a night-worthy airplane. What do y'all think? Let me know what you think. I want to hear your comments, your stories about this airplane. I want ideas about building an airplane. And of course, the most important question is what I'm doing legal? Now, I've done a lot of research and I haven't found anything that says, hey, you have to come up with the money yourself for your airplane. You cannot accept donations. And it really doesn't make sense if you work through it. It makes sense that you would be able to get donations to build an airplane. But I want to know if somebody can cite the regulation that says you cannot do that, cite it for me. Comment down below or send me an email, please. That's it for today. I'm getting really cold and starting to slur my speech because, like I said, frigid temperatures out here. So I'm going to sign off today. See ya. Clear skies and tailwinds.